Well, we're getting through the second big, like 16, 18 inch snowfall here. I just brought it in. I pulled every bit of snow I could off, even inside the wheels, everywhere around this, just with my mitts. No glass in the cab. It just makes it's tough. I'm not cold at all. I'm not wet anywhere. My feet are starting to get a little damp, but it's passing the test. This thing's got so much power. This thing here is loose, this gearbox. And I think the bolts are on the back side of this plate, so you gotta pull there's 3 bolts. I think there's 2 on the bottom and this one center one on the top here. Gotta pull that off, and hopefully this just slides off the drive shaft. It links to the drive shaft in the snowblower. It's kind of like a spline shaft, I think. I hope it's not seized. Should be okay. Might be a sign that there's a bad bearing in there. I don't know. I'll pull it off before I use it next time, and I can't get that bottom drain plug to come out. I want it to drain the gear oil, a little bit of gear oil that's there. I added about 2/3 or 3/4 of a liter of 80W90. That's what the dealer said. That's what that takes. I bought that brass plug and put it in there. When I bought it, that brass plug was missing, and I kind of forgot about it until I just remembered. I wasn't expecting to use this machine this winter. So, what else? These lights are really nice to have. We're almost out of fuel, which is good. I think there's summer fuel in this machine. There's something. There's some bad fuel in it. It's running fine because I've kept it in here, and I had the heat on in here, so it's 45, 50 degrees in here, so the tank warms up overnight, and then I put let me see how many hours I put on this. The hours meter works fine, so we put 5 hours on it. Yeah, we're using it a lot. It's two big snowstorms we've done now. I'm using this piece of wire back here. It's underneath the snow. I didn't clean this corner up too good, did I? Right here. I'm using this for a brake. I think the thing's out of adjustment, so if you go to start it, it's really hard to push on that. Oh yeah, we come over the top here. Let's see. I'll put you on pause here for a second. I'm using that wire to lock the brake. I thought the seat sensor was working. I think it was in the summer. I think it's frozen on now, or stuck on. What I mean by on is as if there's someone sitting in it. It'll start right now with nobody on the seat, so that sensor's maybe on the way out. It was working when I got this machine. I had to get in and sit on the seat to get it to start. Now I just have to lock that pedal down. And this is the lock for the pedal. It's totally out of alignment. I can't use it, so not really important. The important thing is to keep the driveway open. Yeah. What else? I gotta check the gear oil, and I think I'm gonna go buy a 4-liter jug of gear oil tomorrow. Gotta check the gear oil in those there's 3 compartments in the back. Each wheel has its own gearbox with its own gear oil, and in the center, differential has a gear oil chamber also. One of them's low. I mean, it's moving at the snail's pace, so I'm not too concerned with that, but that's got to be done. I got to find out where the leaks are in it, but no leaks in the motor part at all, so everything's good back here. I see something there. There's a little bit of weeping going on here. I think that's antifreeze. Can't tell. You see it's getting wet right there. Other than that, oh, something there. That could be water melting. Be a lot easier if it was dry out. And a snowstorm is not really easy to check and see where if you have any leaks, but there's the hoses for the heater. There's one of them. They put these hydraulic quick couplers on there. I don't know if they really work for heat. I think they would limit the flow. I don't really like that. If I do use the heater, I might change that. I don't know. Kind of weird. And then there was one on the other side too, somewhere over here. we'll go over there and look. But the starter's working great. The engine's running perfect. It's got lots of power. Yeah, there's the one for this side. Here's the hose. I think I tie wrapped that up there. I forget. Anyway, I don't think it would be that hard to get heat in here. But kind of pointless with no windows. And I called a couple of guys with plexiglass to give you an update. I found one guy that's got a whole bunch of sheets. They're 37 or 36 inches by 47. That's what they are. 36 by 47. This opening is just a little bigger than 36 at one spot. So I think I could make that work. I think there's 36 and a quarter or something, or half. I think it'll fit. So, and they're not quite tall enough. This is over 50. It's like 52 inches to the top. What I think I might do is just put a piece of plywood across the top. And then I'll buy 2 sheets. He wants $60 a sheet. I asked him if I buy 3 sheets, is there any discount? He said, no, they're already discounted quite a bit. I said, well, you know, I'm buying 3. I'm only going to buy 2. There's one will completely be used for the windshield. And the other one, they're pretty thin. They're 3 millimeters, which is not even 1/8 of an inch. It's like 0.125 is 1/8 of an inch. It's like 0.111 or something, 112 thousandths of an inch. So I think a piece would fit in the back here, and I might have enough to fit these 2 side things. And then I've got some plexiglass of my own I might use for if I make doors and so on. I'd love to have glass in this right now, because, you know, if I don't use it too much more this winter, it wouldn't be a big deal. But there's a good chance that machine might not be up and running next year. So I'm thinking the head might be warped. I'm talking about the older F series that I have. It's got a blown head gasket. I might have the head remachined. I might have to move that cab to another tractor. These things seem to never ever kind of happen. So the best option might be sticking putting glass in this and using this in the winter. But I'm kind of disappointed because I wanted to use this for the summer. So anyway, I think I'll survive. It'll get used year round. I'm going to wait for this to thaw out. I'm going to turn the heat back on here, melt everything around here, and try and get those bolts off. Slide that back and see what we can do. See if there's a bad bearing in there. I know there's 3 bearings in these snowblowers. There's 1 at the back here and then 2 at the front. You can easily see these. But the only way to change any of these 3 bearings, you got to pull the whole unit out. That shaft at the back, this whole thing is all connected, comes out. And then you can change, although these bearings up here don't really do very much. I don't even think you need bearings in there. You just need some sort of bushing. It looks like someone has done something in there, because those bolts are not, those aren't factory, those bolts. Those are, look at that, great big, those are like 5/8. Those are bigger than they're supposed to be, I think. Something's going on here. That's not, I don't know. I pumped some grease in there. I might do it again. And so far I haven't sheared a bolt, but that means next time I bring it out, I'll probably shear a bolt. I think that looks like 5/16. I used 1/4 inch on the other machine, but this has got a lot more horsepower, so maybe I need 5/16. So anyway, and I haven't had a chance. In the shed is another snowblower just like this one. It's got the hydraulic deflector on it, and I took some measurements, and I'm gonna go see if it's the exact same as this one. It may fit, it may not. So that would be nice to put that on, because I got it pointed up. When it's really windy out, this stuff blows right back on your face. And if you can turn it down, it doesn't blow in your face as much. But the way it is right now, just these 2 locking knobs are holding it. So it's a great little snowblower. This thing blows, man. That's 36 horsepower. And there's no, this is pre-emissions. No DPF. Diesel particulate filter, no electron, no mass airflow sensor, no nothing on this thing. It's just a straight pipe. You can see it comes right out the exhaust manifold right there, right into this muffler. It's all one piece, and right out the back, that little pipe. So the newer ones, you know, this was the last of the good old machines that, you know, don't have all this garbage on there that suck up horsepower and shorten the life of your engine. There's no EGR valve on this. There's no nothing. So it is what's considered, I think, a T4, but the new ones are tier 5 now. So I don't know how far they're going to go. Tier 11, tier 15, tier 20. The more complicated they get, the more I dislike them. So this one's pretty simple. Not a lot of stuff. You can see there's hardly anything on this. Very few sensors. You got a couple of temperature sensors. That's a shut-off solenoid right there. You got your glow plugs. This bar along here, right there. It's a metal bar that sends current to all 4 glow plugs. You've got your alternator. What else you got? Engine temperature. Somewhere on this side, maybe. Again, I don't see it, but there's the block heater. I got to get a wire for that block heater. If I do leave it outside, it's gonna have to be plugged in. And probably these things don't like to start when it's cold. So there's an engine sensor on it somewhere, temperature sensor. And that's it. That's all there is on it. And something's happened with the wiring on this. They put this aftermarket fuse to replace this one. It looks like it burnt. Something happened in there. Okay. Oh, and the other thing I want to do, I don't know if I should take that off. The engine doesn't get hot at all on this. I watch the temperature the whole time I'm using it. It's nice and green, so I'm not too worried about it, but I'd like to change the antifreeze. Maybe I'll do it next summer. It's got, there's anti-corrosion additives to antifreeze, and it stops your engine from corroding from the inside, so it does break down. That stuff does break down. So the temperature never went higher than about, I don't know, 1/4 inch up there. Right about there where my thumbnail is. That's good. When it's blowing snow, the motor usually gets pretty hot. Because it's working really hard. Harder than it does when it's cutting grass. I know the other F-Series tractor we had, when we had a plow, I got the little 60-inch plow that angles and back and forth on a really, really cold day in that machine with the glass cab and everything. There's no heat. There's very, very little heat because the motor doesn't really, it's not working hard, so it doesn't generate enough heat to keep you warm inside. So if you, and that machine's got it's the early F-Series, so the rad is not at the front, it's at the back. If you put a piece of cardboard block half the rad, you can get some heat, but then you can overheat it also. So you're better off just being cold, in my opinion. So we'll continue doing some repairs, doing different things on this. I'm gonna see if I can pick up a couple of sheets of plexiglass tomorrow. I contacted the guy on Friday. He said he couldn't do it Friday. It had to do it Saturday or Sunday, and I'm not going today in this big snowstorm. I'll show you outside. It's just crazy. That's how much snow we've got. Yeah, today, yesterday. I blew all this area here. Here's the old F-Series on holidays. Look at this. That's almost 4 feet there. So, here's the old girl. It's a little 3-cylinder on this thing. It's a great machine, but what a shame. Head gasket. We'll fix it. I'm hoping to fix it. I pulled the battery out of this one to put in the F3680. And it's got the older snowblower. It's got the chain drive in there, which is geared differently. I can't open this door. This handle stopped working just before I stopped using it. It always works, that handle. Maybe you can see through the glass. I'm not walking through 3 feet of snow over there, so maybe you can see in there. Oh, I gotta turn off the flashlight. Yeah, there's a little lever right there. Yeah, you can see it. There's 2-speed PTO on this machine. So one is like 1100 RPMs and the other one's 2500. Well, this snowblower is designed to run on 1100 RPMs. And I think it's that and maybe the sweeper are the only attachments that run on that slow speed. The higher speed is the 2500, and that's for the mower deck. And those new snowblowers, the one that's on that F3680, they have a much more reduced gear ratio on that gearbox. So they run at 2500 RPMs. If you run this one at 2500, you'll blow the something up. And I got this hydraulic cylinder on this, but I doubt I'd have to make brackets. I could use that. It's a little Princess Auto. Royal Service. That's as old as the machine, that cylinder. Yeah. Anyway. So that's the end of my video. I'm just gonna... you see how big this door is? That's one thing I wanted to say. Way easier to get in and out of. And it's shorter. It's only about my height, about 6'2", maybe 6'3". I can park this in my shed. Not that behind us there. The F3680 is too tall for my shed anyway. I think the opening is maybe 6'8" inches. It's not, I don't think it's 7 feet. So 7'2" will not fit in there, which is disappointing. But okay, let's end the video. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned, I'll have more stuff.